So today we're going to make a table in Access 2010. The reason you make a table is it's a place for storing a collection of similar records. And the reason why you do this, make tables that is it's because it's easier to store data this way and it's easier to extract data this way. So for example, if we had a database that was for a school, you might have a number of tables, but you could have a table that stores information and records about the pupils, a table that stores information and records about after-school clubs, and you could also have a table that tracks which students or which pupils have booked on to which after-school clubs. So how do we go about making a table? Well, first of all, we would go to Create, and we'd go to Create Table Design. So first of all, it has this table across, or this matrix across the top here. I would probably have the following fields in my table, which would be pupil ID, and the data that's going to be stored in this field, I'm going to call this an auto number from the selection. So an ID for the pupils, as I put their records in, will be generated automatically. So it's a way of helping to make the reference or the ID unique. You might do this with invoice numbers in a table that stores invoices, or you might do this with, say, part numbers if you have a table that's storing parts. So pupil ID, I might have first name, and that will be a field that stores text. Last name, again, that can store text. I might have, what else might I have? Let's go with gender, text, and I might have the town that they live in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields there, each containing different information and different types of information, either auto numbers or text. If I just have a look at what other types of text there is there. So for example, if we wanted to store the pupil's date of birth, we could make sure that the field only stores dates or time formatted information. So there's my table. So now that I've made this table in design view, I can choose datasheet view. It's the database is quickly asking me to name the table, so I'll call this pupils table. And this is interesting, there's no primary key defined, so let's cancel that a second. So the primary key is a way of saying which key field is your unique identifying field. So in our example here, the pupil ID would be our unique field. We wouldn't want two students or two pupils to have the same ID. So the pupil ID must always be unique. And a way that we can enforce that is we can say, okay, this is our primary key. It won't allow any entries where the pupil ID is duplicated in another record. So there's our primary key. Let's change the view back to datasheet view. Again, pupils table. And then we have our table. So typically an Excel type looking sheet. So let's say our first pupil is Bob. Let's say he's Bob Banana. He's male and he lives in Manchester, let's say. So just a couple of records. Let's have Harry Herb. He is male. Let's just make that correct. And he is from London. And one more, Sarah Strawberry. And she is female. And she is also from London. So there's our table that we've created. The pupils table, it's storing similar records, a collection in the same place. In this case, it's storing pupils. We have 3 pupils there, neatly stored, easily extractable and easily extractable. And the way we did that was we went to create, and we started designing the fields, or the headings here, the fields, and we went to table design to do that.